Hello ducklings, today is a very weird video because I'm not really going to be talking about anything that I used to. It's actually going to be kind of like a documentary about death. So trigger warning. It has stuff in it. Like overuse of drugs, there's death, and it's a very tragic story. So if you're like a very weird, not weird person, but if you're a person that tends to get scared easily, or doesn't like this type of conversation, then this probably isn't the video for you. Honestly. But if you like stuff like this, then you should stay and like the video because I said so. So yeah. But if you like me, then you should also subscribe because, well, I said so. So, anyways, let's get on to the video. Okay, so basically, the person we're talking about today is Elisa Lam, or her real name is Lam Hoi. Sorry if I said that wrong. I am a white person, and she is not, so her name isn't basic like mine. So, yeah. Her age when she died was 22. She was a student at the University of British Columbia in Vancouver, and she was born April 30th, 1991. She was born in Vancouver, Canada, where, her college was, and she died in 2013 in the hotel Cecil. I don't know how to pronounce it, but it's spelled Cecil, and it's a hotel in Los Angeles. She wanted to go to her dream vacation, and she was 21 at the time, but she still lived with her parents, sadly. And she's been wanting to go to LA for so long. This is like her dream vacation, just like anyone else. Well, it was supposed to be her dream vacation. Her parents were very strict, so it took time for them to agree to this vacation, and she was also going by herself, which you're like, oh, she's 21. Of course, why does she even need to ask her parents? I don't know, okay? And so, because her parents are really strict, they wanted her to call at least once or twice a day, every single day, okay? And she did. So she went to LA by herself. She was having fun. She called the first day. She called the second day. She called the third day. The fourth day was her last and final call that she would ever have to her parents, at least. And days went by. Could not get contact of her. They couldn't see her. They didn't know where she was, and they were slowly getting even more worried by the second. And after a while, she should have been home. She should have been checked out. She should have went home. She should have, unpacked her bags. And she wasn't home yet. And no one had any sight of her still. No one. Not her friends, not her family, no one in the town she lived in, no one in Los Angeles had any sight of her. And she did check out, but she didn't come home yet. And how come she didn't come home? Don't know. You'll have to wait to see. Ha 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 ha. I already know. Anyways, so the police. Oh, wrong paper. The police came and checked all of the rooms, but there was no sign of her. They went up on the roof. No sign of her. Wink, wink. they went in the rooms surrounding her and in the rooms that they could all legally go in. Still, no sight of her belongings, nothing. And she had booked a room at first to share with 2 other people that were not, she couldn't choose them. They were just 2 other random people. They all were very alike, but for some reason, her roommates didn't like her, and it was because they thought that she had a very weird behavior, and the hotel gave Elisa her own room because of this. So 2 weeks went by, and yet there was still no sign of her. Her parents were very concerned. And on February 14th was when they found a video recording of her going in the elevators. I can't read, guys, okay? It's a piece of paper. My handwriting sucks. Okay, it's not strongly. She strangely just pressed all the buttons. Just pressed every single one of them. Number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5. Every single button she pressed. And then she stepped back and just sat there. She then looked up the elevator, left and right, very fast. And then she goes back in to hide. But what was she hiding from? Who is she hiding from? What is she so scared of that would make her want to hide? And she steps back out and seems to shuffle in and out. She goes in, out, side, out, in. And she's clearly on edge. There's something very strange about her behavior in the video recording, and she usually doesn't act like this. She tries to press all the buttons again, and the elevator door remains open. And it shuts about 2 or 3 times randomly after she leaves the elevator. She was never really seen on any video recordings or camera recordings after that, and she wasn't really seen by anyone personally either. But I don't know, but what was going on, really? Why did she seem so scared? Why was she so off edge? And why was she so eager to leave, to go to a different floor? It was as if someone was hunting her down. But why? Why? Really? And at the time, Elisa was mentally not right. That was the only camera, but the hotel was so big. So how come there were no other video recordings? That means she could still be in the hotel. We're 1,000 miles away. The water pressure was really low, so there are many complaints about the water pressure. And for some reason, the water looked either black, red, or yellow. And people that would drink the water, brush their teeth with the water, said that it tasted very off. It didn't taste right. Wonder why. And there was clearly a malfunction in the water tanks. So San Diego Lopez was the man that was tasked with checking the water tanks. He thought that would be easy, but what he saw in the water tank, he was shocked. His jaw dropped. He had no words. Wonder what he found in the water tank. In the water tank, there was Elisa's Elisa Lam's lifeless, decaying, dead body. She was pale, and there's no marks on her body. After 19 days, people finally found her body. 19 whole days. For 19 days. 19 whole days, people were showering, drinking that water that her dead body was in. Like, that's disgusting. So whoever did this to her truly is evil. How did she even get in there? Police think she did this to herself and accidentally drowned in the water tank. With that, her case was closed. With a lot of questions remaining, though. Like, what happened in the elevator? How did she get on the roof? How did she even get on the tank? And why did she do this if it was actually her fault? But if it wasn't, who did it? Who was it? Why did they do it? There are still so many questions and so many concerns. And her mom and dad were so sad to find out that their 22-year-old daughter died. And they couldn't even say any last words were before her death. That is just truly heartbreaking. And even after, like, watching all the videos and stuff, it's still so, like, sad because they never truly found out, like, why she did it, who did it, and what actually happened. But people think that maybe it wasn't her fault and she didn't go on the roof alone. Maybe maybe she was Miyazad's. Dun dun dun. Sorry, I like saying murder like that. When she was in the elevator, it looked like she was hiding from someone. It was an employee. Possibly. We don't know. It was possibly an employee. Think about it. How come there was no other videotape of her? They erased it or found a route with no cameras. And the employees are the only ones with access to the camera tapes and to the rooftop. They have the only key to the rooftop. I really had to flip the last page because how much I had wrote. Like, wow. Anyway, the elevator was also broken. In the footage, even after pressing all the buttons, the elevator door never actually closed. And the employee the employee could have been controlling the elevator. Because if you do go to a hotel and you are a hotel employee, you can control the elevator. You can, like, open and close it. There's a bug in my room. Gross. And you can, like, really do anything with the elevator, which is how most of the time people do get unstuck from elevators. And so, since the employees are the only one that can control the elevator, the employee was controlling the elevator before they eventually unalived her. It appeared to be like a psych game. Not psych. I accidentally spelled psych instead of sick, but it appeared to be like a sick game they were trying to do on her before they killed her, which is so sad. And the video almost skips over some of the parts, like a whole minute was skipped, as if they just didn't want to show anyone what happened. And so, at one point, it also looks like she's speaking, but it looks like someone pixelated it. Like, you can't tell what she was saying, and you can't hear what she was saying either. So, what was she saying, really? What did she say in that videotape? You will never know. Like, it's kind of sad because there's so many questions, and this case should have never been closed. Like, they should have kept trying to figure out all these questions and try to pick up all these puzzle pieces. But the police being lazy, they never did. Like, no offense if you're a cop, but the police can be very lazy sometimes. Like, they should have still tried to investigate this case. Like, this case should have never been closed. And something else is that, hold on, notes. So another thing about her hiding. What was she exactly hiding from? And in her blog that she had posted the day before her death, she was like, okay, I'm going out, guys, but the people around here are very sketchy. I hope no one tries to come up to me. Basically pointing out that it could have been someone already following her. And she didn't have her phone on her during her death, before her death, or after her death. They couldn't find her phone in the rooms. They couldn't find her phone on her body or anything. And by the way, they did check the body, but her body was so decayed that they couldn't do an autopsy at all. And when they first looked at the body, there was also no scars or scratches, so we don't think that she got like hurt or harmed in any way, except that she herself jumped in the tank or someone else pushed her in the tank. That's all we really know. So, but like, since she didn't have her phone or anything, it was weird because after her death, vlogs were still uploading. And yeah, she could have just set a timer for them to like be uploaded or whatever. But at the same time, wouldn't her phone have died after a while? Because multiple, not just one video, but multiple videos kept uploading each day. Multiple blogs. But it's a blog. It's a vlog, really. Like, it's a blog and a vlog that she does. She does blogging and vlogging. So how come she had recorded those before she even knew what was going to happen the day that she was talking about? Because when you do a blog or a vlog, you're basically like, you're recording a video about a day in the life of me. That's really what it is. So how would she know what would happen the day before if she hadn't already been through that day? So, I mean, really, I don't think she could have set a timer for those videos to go out unless someone has set out those videos themselves. Because we see her dead body in the tank. Like, it's 100% that she's dead. But, like, then how come the blogs were released? But the police do know that she was drugged at the time and she had overused drugs. And she also was bipolar. So they think that drugs and bipolarness was a big part of this. So another thing, it could have been that she was overly drugged and she was hallucinating. That's weird. Anyways, and she could have been going mentally insane at the time. But really, we'll never know. Which is the saddest thing about this, because the case was never fully solved. And it's crazy to think that, like, there are still so many questions that can't be answered and will never be answered. So, my final question for you today is, what do you think about this case? And that is all I have for today. If you liked the video, then I hope that you like and subscribe. But I love you all so much, ducklings, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.